Welcome back to Tuscola Field, where the Tuscola Warriors are finding themselves in a hole against the Central A&M Raiders to a tally of 34-6. Tonight's presentation is brought to you by the DouglasCountyDigest.com. This is Mark Maxey with Alan Patton. And our sponsors tonight are Edward Jones, Jim Cly, serving Douglas County and Tuscola on Route 36. We have Villa Grove State Bank, your community bank since 1919 in downtown Villa Grove. Arthur Flowers and Gift Shops, flowers, gifts, and 20 flavors of fudge in downtown Arthur. Longview State Bank, we belong together for 4 locations. Villa Grove, Newman, Camargo, and Sydney. State Farm, John Davis, serving all of Douglas County, located in Tuscola. Hillard Insurance Agency, your neighborhood agency in both Tuscola and Villa Grove. Main Street Gallery, local Douglas County photos and frames in Arcola. Ricks County Market, Fresh Foods in Villa Grove. Hilligoss Schrader Funeral Homes in Tuscola, Arthur, and Arcola. Patterson Springs Bed and Breakfast, Polly's Barbecue in Arthur. Sewing by Kathy in Tuscola. Tuscola National Bank, State of Arthur Bank, and we thank the cities of Arcola, Arthur, Tuscola, and Villa Grove as we get off to a start here in the second half. Tuscola kicks away to Central A&M, and Central A&M's ball carrier gets it out to the...
Call it the 42.
Call it the 42. Take it over, Alan.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Alex Snyder took the kickoff, spun away from a couple tacklers, was finally brought down at the 42-yard line of Central A&M, and that's where the Raiders take over, 1st and 10. They send wide receiver to the right. Here's a pass from Ramsey. It's complete to, let's see, is that Aubrey Kuntz over on the near side?
6.
Was that 6?
Yeah, I think that was 6.
Okay.
That was Pelosi.
Yeah.
Pelosi. Jason Pelosi, number 6.
Okay, ball at the 47, gain of 5. Here's running play to the left side.
Snyder.
Snyder not getting, I guess he got across the 45.
Kind of just an inside quarterback handoff as Snyder was coming.
Don't think he got
in motion.
Don't think he got too much on the play.
Actually, I think he might have lost a yard.
They're going to mark it at the 47. 3rd down and 5 at the 47 for the Raiders. Here's Snyder in motion. Ramsey rolling out to the right side. He cuts up. Now back out toward the sideline. He gets away from Dustin Hake. He's inside the 20. Gets away from a couple more, and he's in, standing up for the touchdown. 53 yards for Curtis Ramsey, his second big touchdown run of the night. And that comes with 10:24 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Ramsey rolled to the right, cut back up, cut toward the sidelines, and cut back toward the middle. And he just outran the Warrior defense for 53 yards and the touchdown. His second rushing touchdown of the night. 1 for 60, and that one for 53 yards. Reese 80 will attempt the point after the snap, the kick, and the kick is no good. So we've got a timeout with 10:24 left in the 3rd quarter. Central A&M leading 40-6. Mark, taking a look at the stats, very one-sided as you might guess, in favor of Central A&M. 286 yards total offense, 178 on the ground, 108 through the air. Leading rusher was Alex Snyder, 72 yards on 3 carries. Ballinger, 42 yards on 9 carries. Ramsey, 61 yards on 2 carries. Ramsey was 8 of 11 passing, or 8 of 12, I guess, or 8 of 14. 8 of 13 with 1 interception, 108 yards. For Tuscola, they managed only 81 yards of total offense, 39 on the ground, 42 in the air. Nick Bates, 24 yards on 10 carries, leading the rushing for Tuscola. Bates and Kaufman both one of, actually Bates one of 4, Kaufman one of 3. Here's Tristan Williams taking the kickoff, getting across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, and that's where Tuscola will take over, 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Well, I can assure you, when the Tuscola coaches watch the film of this game and they watch that last touchdown run, they're bound to feel a bit disgusted, as I was as an ex-player watching some of the effort on that play. It just really seems like some guys don't want to put their heads in that game. And
Eli Kaufman back at quarterback for the Warriors. Single setback, Tristan Williams in motion. Here's a handoff to Austin Martin. Martin gets a couple yards on the play. He's going to be at about the 34-yard line, going to be 2nd and 8. That's the first time Austin has touched the ball this evening.
Yeah, he got it. He got in the backfield there a couple times earlier in the first half, and every time they tried to hand the ball off to him, I think he was the guy in the backfield where they actually had the fumbles. So Coach Reinhardt going with Eli Kaufman and Martin in the backfield to start this second half of play out.
Christian Wood, Tristan Williams, is that Zach Bates also?
Zach Bates in the slot, and the near side here is Walsh.
Here's Kaufman back to throw. Incomplete, intended for Zach Bates. Kaufman is 1 of 4 passing for 7 yards.
He'd no more release that ball, and a little number 3, Shaylin Sims, 6'5", 5'9", 6'5" senior, put a smack on him.
3rd and 8 for the Warriors, ball at the 34-yard line. 9:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's Tristan Williams in motion to the left side. Kaufman gets a snap in the shotgun, lobs a pass to Austin Martin on the right side. He gets across the 40 to about the 41. Still might be about a yard short of the first down.
Little swing pass off to the right, off to the far side. Very nice touch on the ball. Put it out there for him, and once again, that quick secondary and linebacking core of Central A&M Raiders just closed in on him.
So 4th down and a couple. Ball at the 41. The Warriors are going to go for it. 8:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Here's Zach Bates in motion, lined up on the left side. Kaufman going to take it himself, and he's going to squeeze through.
He fought up there. I think he might be close. I think he got it.
Yeah. They say move the chains. He's got it out to the 45.
You know, second effort got him that first down right there. He was hit and stopped, and then he just kept his feet going, made a little spin move, and fell forward enough for the first down. Good effort by Eli Kaufman.
1st and 10 for the Warriors. That's their 5th first down unofficially in the ball game. Kaufman with the snap, puts it up downfield, intended for Williams. It is batted down, incomplete. Spencer Garner back there to defend for the Raiders.
He actually kind of knocked the ball up in the air, and who was that? Tristan Williams.
Yeah.
Tristan Williams had an opportunity to secure the ball, and you know, when you're falling down and your weight's taking you to the ground, and you're just wishing your fingers were 4 inches longer, you know. And he just ran out of finger room. And
that's where you appreciate receivers like Lynn Swan that can fall all over the place and still catch the ball. 2nd and 10 for the Warriors at the 44-yard line in Tuscola territory. Kaufman passes left side, intended for Zach Bates. Incomplete. Alex Snyder defending on the play. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 at the 44. That's where they're going to call it. So,
very tough pass to make, and very tough pass to handle.
Yeah, Bates was moving toward the sideline. The pass was going out that way too. So
yeah, and it was behind him, so he has to spin his body around to make that catch, and very tough.
Kaufman puts the ball up downfield, intended for Christian Wood, and just overthrew him by about five or 6 yards. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 10 at the 44. Clock stopped, 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. Central A&M leading by a score of 40-6. If Tuscola doesn't score and Central A&M gets another one on the board, we're going to have we'll have the running clock.
Yes, we will.
Here's Dustin Hake. Dustin has punted 5 times for about a 37-yard average. He gets this one away. Going to be taken at the 20 by Snyder. Snyder stacked up, and he's finally brought down at about the 25-yard line, we're going to say. And that's about a 36-yard kick, which is right near the average for Dustin Hake, who's come in the midst of all the injuries and have done a good job punting the football.
That's one of the things tonight Tuscola has done rather well.
1st and 10, Central A&M. They're going to mark the ball at the 24-yard line.
Except for the one time where he bobbled it and had a little trouble back here, but he's been booting the ball pretty good.
Yeah, he's been consistent. He's in the 30s, had a 44-yarder earlier. Here's Ramsey handing off.
Ballinger
to the right side. He's going to be near the 30-yard line. Yeah, we'll mark it at the 30. Gain of about 6. 2nd and 4. Ballinger's carried 8 times for 48 yards. 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter from Tuscola High School. Not a happy homecoming for the Warriors tonight. Here's handoff up the middle.
I couldn't tell who that was.
I couldn't either.
Was that 32? Was that Snyder?
I don't know. Austin Martin off the pile. Yeah, we'll say it was Snyder. Well, was it or was it? I don't know. Gain of about 3 on the play. 3rd and 1. The ball at the 33. That's 75 yards on 4 carries.
There's a new face we haven't seen on the field for Central A&M, number 23, Eric Mama.
I think he caught a pass in the first.
Did he? 5'6", 130 senior?
First quarter, and he's been holding for all these extra points. So.
Okay.
Here's a dive over the left side of the line. And
they only had, a yard to go, so that's going to be pretty close. Looks like they're giving it to him.
I think that was Ballinger carrying.
Yeah, it was Ballinger.
Gets to the 35. He needed 1, he got 2.
Are they moving the chains?
Yep.
Well,
that's 5 first downs for, unofficially, for Central A&M. Of course, they've had a lot of long scoring plays, so they haven't needed a lot of first downs. Hadn't exactly been a grinded out ball game for the, and now we've got a whistle and a timeout. I don't know if it's equipment problem or injury or something, but Central A&M takes timeout. Next week, we will be in Arthur for the Little Okaw Valley Conference game between the Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond Knights and the Villa Grove Blue Devils.
407. Please bring your winning ticket stub.
That'll be next week's game on DouglasCountyDigest.com. And Jerry Girardi and I will be at Wilson Field in Arthur to bring you that ball game. Cerro Gordo and Villa Grove, pair of unbeatens going head-to-head tonight over at Villa Grove, homecoming at Villa Grove. Last report we had, the Blue Devils were leading 14-8 over the Broncos.
Blue Devils had a nice little ride-up at the Pierce.
Yeah.
Boy in the Gazette this week. And,
I tell you, he does it all for that team. He runs. I think last year he even played some quarterback, I think. He's the leading rusher and the leading scorer in the area. One of the leading tacklers as well. All right, Central A&M after the timeout. 1st and 10 at the 35. Here's Sims in motion. Rolling out to the right is Ramsey. He's looking. He's being chased by Zach Bates and a couple other Warriors. And let's see who else is over there. Dustin Hake, Ian Trail, Zach Bates. Okay, let's see. It's going to be a gain. Well, they're going to move it just across the 40 to the 41. So a gain of 6. It's 2nd down and 4 for Ramsey. He's over the 100-yard mark. 120 yards on only 4 carries. Of course, he had touchdown runs of 60 and 53 yards. You take those 2 runs out, he hasn't done a whole lot. Jokingly, he said. Here's a handoff to Ballinger over the left side. And he's going to be stopped for no gain on the play. Zach Ballinger.
You know, I'm just taking a look at you were over there talking about some stuff, and I was sitting here looking at the program and realizing how many sophomores that were actually playing and getting quality playing time this year. I mean, sophomores. That doesn't happen on Tuscola squads very often.
No, it's usually a senior. And that's the way it is at a lot of high schools.
Yeah, it's just
the seniors dominate and the sophomores bide their time. Here's Ramsey rolling out to the right side, spins away from a tackler, gets brought down just across midfield, just right at the midfield stripe. You know, it just kind of indicates a little bit of a down, more than a little bit, but a down year for the Warrior program when you see, freshmen and sophomores getting so much playing time and are in key positions, Yeah.
And
well, it's kind of a couple of years they'll be back.
They will.
Hopefully.
They'll certainly be back.
Ball marked at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Here's Ballinger going over the left side of center. Breaks away from a couple tacklers.
Got Chaley out there. Sims blocking in front of him.
He's inside the 15 to the 10 to the
dives.
5. And he goes in for the touchdown. Ballinger with his 3rd touchdown run of the ball game. That's a 51-yarder.
When they snapped that ball, that Chaley Sims was almost in the way of the snap. Had to turn sideways so the ball could get to the quarterback. By the time he gets to the quarterback, he was right out there where he needed to be to block out there in front of Ballinger. And once again, they just once they get around that corner, those guys are just lightning quick.
And that puts Ballinger over the 100-yard mark, 102 yards on 11 carries. Reese 80 will try the point after. 5:11 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 46-6 in favor of Central A&M. Here's the kick, and it is good. So 80 gives the Central A&M Raiders 47 points.
We'll be looking at a continual running clock now, Al.
Yep, 40-point lead for Central A&M. And that'll, as Mark said, that'll trigger the continuous clock for the rest of the football game.
Well, it appears these young men on this Central A&M Raider team have finally got their revenge for the last 4 losses that they suffered to the Tuscola Warriors. And they're doing it in pretty good fashion tonight, I mean, this team has just come in here. They've looked sharp from the very get-go.
Yeah.
And
the last time they beat Tuscola was back in 2009 over at Mowequa. It was kind of a fluky. Well, I don't want to say fluky, but kind of an odd way to win a ball game. I think they were trying a field goal, and the snap went bad, so the holder or somebody picked the ball up and threw it and got a touchdown pass, and that won the ball game. Here's 80's kickoff. Going to be taken at the 15. Zach Bates juggled it, picks it up, gets out to the 29, and he's going to be brought down at about the 29. Well, let's see. 20. Well, let's see. Where are they going to mark it? Well,
they're going to 25.
25. Okay. 1st and 10 for the Warriors at their own 25-yard line. Nope, now they're going to mark it at the 29.
Oh, went from the 25 up to the 29.
Well, hey, Any way you can get yardage.
Hey, there we go.
Any way you can pick up yardage, especially in a game like this.
Oh, come on, Tuscola. Let's see if we can put something together here.
Here's a handoff around the right side. New name in the ball game is Christopher West. He's going to go over toward the far sideline.
5'9", 155-pound senior.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 for Christopher West. And we said that was a gain of 4. All right. Wide to the left side is Nolan Walsh. Here's Zach Bates in motion. Kaufman still at quarterback.
Hand off to Martin.
Austin Martin gets the football. He's going to get across the
picked up first down there.
40. Going to be a first down for the Warriors. Number 6 on the night. Ball at the 41. Gain of 8 yards for Austin Martin. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Tuscola. 47-6, Central A&M leading here on homecoming at Tuscola High School. Warriors, as we said, will be at Maroa Forsyth on that artificial turf field next week. That'll be some kind of experience. Of course, here's a pass to Zach Bates on the left side. Gets away from one man, but Alex Snyder is there to wrap him up and bring him down for, we're going to say it's no gain on the play. That's the second pass attempt or completed by Kaufman in 8 attempts. Going to be 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. Of course, the Warriors have had experience playing on turf before, playing in the state championship game the last few years. There's a screen pass to Zach Bates. And
shoestring tackle.
Shoestring tackle, not going to get much. Is that Ballinger or Snyder?
Snyder.
He's everywhere. Now it's going to be 3rd down. Maybe a yard on the play.
They do have some athletes over here on Central A&M's team.
Yep. Kaufman at quarterback, the senior. Drops back, puts it up downfield. Incomplete, just out of the reach of Christian Wood, the senior.
Beautiful looking pass.
Yeah, it was. Just
really looked like it was just about on the mark. I think he was just a half a step out in front of him.
Yeah. So that's going to bring up 4th and 9 for the Warriors. Minute and a half to go in the 3rd quarter. So we said this game being played with a running clock now. Well, Warriors are going to go for it on 4th and 9. Kaufman under center. Williams.
Center.
Now Kaufman rolling out to the right, puts it up down.
Got him open.
Complete to Zach Bates inside the 30. Down to the 20. Bates to the 15, still on his feet. Working his way inside the 10-yard line.
You know, that's what you like to see from your young players. There's a sophomore right there, caught one. And he just battled, you know. He got 7 yards, just throwing straight arms, trying everything he could to get loose from that guy. And that's the kind of effort you like to see, you know. Even though the score is 47-6 with around 40 seconds left in the 3rd period, you like to see a little fight remain in your team, and he showed that right there.
1st and goal from the 6. I think this is Zach Bates getting the ball again. He's going to be stacked up.
There was nothing there on that play.
52-yard pass play from Kaufman to Zach Bates. I think he carried the ball. No gain, I don't think, on the play. 2nd and goal from the 6. Here's Kaufman throwing in the end zone, and it is
caught
for a touchdown. Austin Martin. So Tuscola back on the board on a 6-yard pass play from Kaufman to Austin Martin with 3 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. That makes it 47-12. Warriors will go for 2. Their kicker is out with an injury. They've missed one tonight. Kaufman under center. Rolls out left side. He's going to be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. And the Warriors are 0 for 2 on 2-pointers tonight. So 3 seconds left in the third quarter. The score, Central A&M 47 and the Tuscola Warriors 12.
You know, they just couldn't keep O'Chaley Sams out of that backfield on that play. He's another good little athlete, you know, over there for Central A&M. Just come around that corner as hard as he could go and wrapped Eli up and took him down. And
that was a 8-play, 71-yard drive for Tuscola. Big play, a 52-yard pass from Kaufman to Zach Bates. And then Austin Martin took it in from 6 yards out, or caught the pass from 6 yards out. Second touchdown pass of the night. Both the Warriors scores have come on pass plays. First one was a 35-yarder from Nick Bates to Tristan Williams. Now the Warriors will kick off what will be the last play of the third quarter. Austin Martin will kick off for Tuscola. The squib kick over on the far side. It's still on the ground.
Oh, Tuscola get that?
And I think it went out of bounds.
Yep. Got a flag.
Warrior was over there to try to recover it. Is that Austin or Eric Christ, I think? But anyway, I think the ball went out of bounds, so it's going to be, see if they kick it over or if Central A&M gets the ball.
My guess is Ramsey's going to take that ball right there.
Yeah, looks like they're going to mark it at the 38-yard line of Central A&M. First and 10 for the Raiders with 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. Spencer Garner coming into the lineup for the Raiders. Down lineman for Tuscola, Clayton Turner. Dustin Clough, I think, is on the other side. Looks like Sam Daly in the middle. Here's Ramsey handing off up the middle. Ballinger, I think, is the ball carrier. He gets across the 40, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter of play. After 3 quarters, it's Central A&M 47 and the Tuscola Warriors 12.